Part of why rewilding is so important is because we, as women, we've been very suppressed. We have been put in certain roles, certain ways we're supposed to behave, and being liberated and being free to express ourselves is something that's really not nurtured in our society. It's really not brought forward. We're put in certain roles to behave a certain way, and when we go out of that role, we're often shamed, or we're scolded, and we're put back in our place. And so years of that, decades of that, we lose that aspect of ourselves. We lose that freeness, that wildness, that primal raw energy, and become very disconnected. We disconnect from ourselves, but it's also a very big representation of our disconnect from nature, from our disconnect of the wild places, of the forest, of the ocean, of the rivers, of these places that we have not tamed, that we have not domesticated. And we're losing a lot of that. We're losing a lot of the wild spaces on Earth. And we feel that as women because we're so connected to the earth, and we're so connected to, Mother Earth brings life just like we bring life. And so when there's a loss of that wilderness, of that those wild places, we feel it. And part of doing the work that we're going to be doing over the weekend at the retreat is to connect with nature, to connect with Mother Earth, to connect with the elements, particularly fire, to start to remember who we are on a deep level, on a beautiful primal level of this raw energy that we have, and that we've forgotten that we have that power because we've been so suppressed by society. We've been so suppressed that we forget that we have that in us. And our fire has been dampened. It's been, for some of us, almost snuffed out. So that's part of what we're going to ignite. We're going to reignite that fire. We're going to reignite it and feel that warmth of the fire, of the primal energy flow through us again. Because we bring life. We are the life bringers. And the energy that takes, the energy that we have, we are the only force that is strong enough to bring spirit into matter. Think about that for a minute. We bring spirit into matter by giving birth to a child. We have that ability to do that. We forget that fire inside of us. And so by working with those elements, we are connecting with Mother Earth. We are connecting with fire, water. We are connecting with air. We're connecting with all of it. And that is a way for us to connect with ourselves and to remember the power that we have and to liberate ourselves. It's a very, the divine feminine is a mystical force. Do you feel mystical? Do you feel that mystical force inside of you? Or has it been dampened? Has it been suppressed? We have been very oppressed in society. We've been very domesticated, if you want to look at it that way. We've been very domesticated from a very young age. I remember as a child hearing the phrase sugar and spice and everything nice. And that really stuck with me, because what that means is that we aren't really allowed or given permission to, we're not allowed to be wild, to be free. We are very conditioned from society and from perhaps our own family and these systems that we grow up around, that really likes to take that wildness out of women and really shames us if we show freer, wilder tendencies. And when I say wild, I mean that really deep connection we have with nature, that more primal aspect of us, where we're so connected to Mother Earth, and we're so connected to the moon and the energies that those things bring, that, you know, when we move away from that, there's a real big disconnect that happens. And just like a lot of the wild places on Earth, on our Mother, they're being taken over. The trees are being cut, the forests are being cut down, the waters are being polluted, the cities are cropping up and dwellings are cropping up, and the wild places on Earth are starting to disappear. And I feel that we as women, we feel that. And so there's a big movement around rewilding. Whether it's working with the divine feminine and rewilding, or whether it's rewilding as far as taking urban places and starting to bring gardens and plant trees to bring life back. There's a movement. It's a beautiful movement. And this is part of what I wanted to bring in to the retreat that we're going to be doing in May, is the rewilding aspect. And rewilding, it's a feminine movement, because it's bringing back the sacred feminine energies that have been suppressed and neglected in our culture. And it's a way for us to reconnect with nature, and reconnect with those parts of ourselves too, those wild parts that we've shut away, that we've disconnected from. And one of the ways to do that is to work with fire. You can work through all the elements, actually, to earth, air, fire, water. We can work with all of those elements. But this particular retreat, what I chose to work with was fire, was that primal. There's just something about fire. There's just something about gathering around the fire and staring into the flames, and the warmth that it brings, and the knowing that fire can bring life, but it can also be very destructive. And that's kind of like us in a way. Like, we have that ability to give life, but we also can be very destructive if that energy is let loose in a way that can destroy, rather than be let loose in a way that can create life and nurture life. And so by using the element of fire, it's a very powerful way to work with the rewilding energies of the bringing in the divine feminine. Fire has been used by many cultures for thousands of years as a way to purify, as a way to release. And that's why, a lot of times we'll do the moon circles, and we'll write down things we want to release, and we'll burn it in the fire, we'll throw it in the fire. So I'm very connected to that element. Like, maybe because I'm a Leo and I'm a fire element, but fire is something that we're going to work with during the retreat and during this aspect of the rewilding workshop. And by using fire, I want to ignite the fire in us. I want to ignite the divine feminine, the fire that we have inside of us, in a positive, beautiful way, to bring life and to burn away all that's not, the things that aren't serving us anymore, the things that are keeping us small, the things that are suppressing us. I want us to release that. And by working with the fire, we're going to bring harmony to ourselves. And we're going to have fun along the way too, like there's something to be said about women gathering around a fire and howling at the moon and dancing and just letting loose, just opening yourself up and just allowing whatever to come forward to be expressed. There's something really powerful about that. So I hope to see you there, and I hope that you feel called to join us for this weekend of rebirth and rewilding with the great Mother Goddess. I want to invite you to be part of this weekend and to embrace that wild woman and invite her back into your life.